This is my AMG GT, which I rebuilt with parts from China, and the car's come on one big journey to get to this point.
And that's because when we got this car, we didn't buy it brand new from a dealership. We got it from Copart salvage auction, and it wasn't in a good state. I saw this car as the perfect blank canvas to turn it into something a bit more special. But the car needed a lot of work before that point, because the crash, although it looked minor, had actually caused damage to structural parts of the car. So in order to fix that, we had to strip all of the damaged parts off the car and get some specialists in to weld in a new inner wing and also the radiator bracket. And once that was done, we could then start rebuilding the car with everything else it needed. But I wanted to turn it into something a bit better, so we went to Mercedes and got a price on the Black Series body kit. It came in at £155,000, which was obviously way too much money, so we decided to import this replica body kit from China. It was a fraction of the cost at only £10,000, but it was a huge risk as well, because you never know what you're going to get. And it took a lot of work to get this right, because when we started fitting it up, even though it looked okay, we wanted to get it as close to factory as possible. So after weeks of solid work, not only from myself, but also the guys at Flat Out Paint Shop, we managed to get this body kit fitting like I'd always dreamed that it could have, and we could get it painted. And it turned out better than I possibly could have imagined. A proper dream car.
And the car's come a long way from where it started, but it's about to go a lot further. I'm doing the biggest road trip I've ever done in this car, and it needs some work before it. Because we need to make sure this car is the best it can possibly be to make sure it doesn't let me down when I'm thousands of miles away from home. So that makes the first job of this video protecting this paintwork. I've spent thousands of pounds getting this right with the guys at Flat Out Paint Shop, and now it's time to make sure that it's going to stay looking this good. So we're PPFing the car with the guys at Finch, and well, I say we, these guys are doing it because it's not something that I'm very good at. Now, I come from a detailing background, and even though this is something which I've dealt with before, it's not something which I class myself as skilled at in any way, shape or form. It's an art getting this right, and it's completely different to wrapping a car. So paint protection film is a clear layer which we put on top of the paint, which makes it resistant to stone chips and self-heal scratches, keeping the paint looking good for years to come. And it's different to wrapping because you put it on wet rather than dry, which makes actually fitting the film a completely different ball game.
So whilst these guys were hard at work protecting my pride and joy, there were some extra little bits I needed to get from the main dealer before we leave for the trip.
Right, just been into my local Mercedes dealer, picked up some spares for the trip because, well, these are the V8 bi-turbo badges which go on the side of the car. They're not spares. I've also got some new boot kind of shock absorber things because my boot's a little bit noisy at the moment. But I've got a spare spark plug and a spare ignition coil as well. Now, believe it or not, the ignition coil, or paquet de bobine for those OG subscribers, is £186 for one, and there's 8 of them. That's ridiculous, but it's always good to have spares when you're doing a massive trip like this because anything can go wrong. And the thing is, if you took the spare, you won't need it, but if you haven't, you will. Now, to customise this car a little bit more and take away from the non-facelifted front lights, we've actually put a tinted PPF on the front and on the rear lights too. Right, now we're on finishing touches and about ready to leave, but we've got the original number plate, and while it's off, it's the prime time to upgrade this. So we're going to be swapping it out to this one, Crisslix, or Crisslix, whichever way you want to say it. I think this is the perfect finishing feature for this car. What do we reckon? Yeah? Nice. Right, let's get it stuck on. By the way, bargain price on this plate, £250. Got it from Reg Transfers. They may have something which suits you, so go and check them out. Does that look straight? What do we reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that seems straight as well.
Yeah. Send her home.
So now we can put all the finishing touches on the car. So we've got the number plates, the new boot stoppers, and also the badges too. And we're just about finished off here at Finch, but the next stop is something that I've been waiting for ever since we started putting this kit on.
And that's because I wanted to treat myself. In 2 days' time, I turn 30. Yes, that makes me old, but I think it's time that I treat myself to something special. And a lot of people will treat themselves to jewellery like watches or something like that. But for petrol heads, it's always got to be wheels. And that's why we've come to Wheelmania and their brand new refurbished store in Birmingham. A few weeks ago, well quite a few weeks ago actually, the guys from Wheelmania popped down to have a look at the AMG GT and they brought down a few options. And these Vossens were one of the main things that I was looking at, and they are nice, but they weren't quite cutting the mustard. I wanted something really special, something to celebrate this build and really reward myself for all the hard work which we've put into this build and the channel so far. So to do something a bit more special for this car, we got the guys from Wheelmania to do us something completely custom. So they have made us these beautiful things. They are two-piece splits, completely one of one to the AMG GT. I'm not going to look at them now until they're on the car, but you guys get to see it. Let's get these on. Right, they're on. I'm a bit nervous. This is definitely like the most expensive wheel I've ever put on my car in my life. I'm nervous to scratch them. Oh, that looks so sick. Yes, I love it. Have a look, see what you think. They look nuts, don't they? Do you think they look too big?
I think they're sick, mate.
I think they look
brilliant.
I think they look perfect. I definitely need to clean up my brake disc though. No, that looks rubbish back there. But the wheel itself looks perfect. I didn't want to put Black Series wheels on it because it's not a Black Series. I want to do something different. I want to make it stand out. No one with a Black Series would put these wheels on, so I've not got one, so I can. I think they look mega. I can't get over that. And also, chrome lip is a chrome circle. Do you know what else is a chrome circle? Chrome circle, also chrome circle. It all just ties together. It's like it's meant to be. I'm sure some of you are going to hate these, but the thing with wheels and the thing with modifying your car is you're doing it all to your personal taste. So it doesn't matter if you don't like it, it's my car. Before we had 19-inch all round. Now the reason I wanted two pieces to have the separate silver and anthracite centre, so it had to go 21s on the rear and 20-inch on the front. It's a big wheel, but they're 305 wide, much wider than the old ones. We put Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss on them. I couldn't be happier with them. I know that some of you are going to hate them. It's a very personal taste thing. I think these look sick. So thank you to the guys at Wheelmania for building my dream wheels for my dream car. We've still got more work to do on this. We're back. Wheels are on. Rate them out of 10.
20.
Nice. Appreciate
They
it.
look lovely.
There is one thing which I want to do because it's really winding me up. It's really taken away from the look of the wheels, especially on the back, is these bits here on the brake disc. They're just rusty, looking rubbish, and really ruining the look of the wheel. So we're going to whip them off.
We are.
Give them a clean up.
With a proper wheel now.
Yeah, nice.
So they don't scratch the loose
17s,
wheel.
I think. That should look a lot better, I think. One thing which I'm considering doing when we come back off the trip is maybe just changing the rear tyres for a slightly taller one, just to give it a bit more meat. But apart from that, I love these wheels so much.
Oh, they're lovely,
They're gorgeous, yeah. Cool, let's do this.
So when we get the wheels off, we can see behind there the brake disc ain't looking so good. So once I've got those cleaned up with a wire brush, to make sure the surface is as smooth as possible and ready for paint, we can then mask the car off and then hit the discs with some etch primer. And then once that was dry, we did a few coats of high temperature silver brake caliper paint.
the techers to clean up the disc. Go on, Mickey. You're the man of experience. There we go.
That is better. We can't have it clogging up the brake pads.
No way, no.
Mercedes stopping power.
Look how much better that looks. There'll be a little bit of excess which needs to be cleaned off, but that'll, as soon as you press the brake pedal, the pads will clean that off. We'll be good to go, but it just stands out so much less, makes the wheels look even better. Nice. Sometimes the little things make a big difference. Now those hubs are sorted, it's on to the next thing, because ever since I drove this car for the first time up and down my road, it's had a rattle in the back which has plagued it and been so irritating. I don't know if my brain can cope with doing thousands of miles in this and having it bouncing around, and I don't know what it is. I've looked over quite a lot of stuff, and now
I'm gonna find the rattle.
you're determined to find it. I will help.
I'm gonna find it.
I will help you, but honestly, I have no idea what's causing it because it's so frustrating.
And Mickey was determined, so the first thing he wanted to do is whip the under tray off and have a good look.
Right, so let's have a look under here, see if we can get to the bottom of this once and for all. Because when I say it's irritating, I could not mean it anymore. With my entire whole being, it irritates the life out of me. The exhaust definitely sounds a little bit rattly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's inside.
You reckon?
Yeah, that's the gap. Loose straight piping.
No.
It's definitely inside the box.
Yeah, you reckon?
100%.
There really is nothing obvious under here as to why it's making this noise.
Have you driven it without the tray on?
No, I don't think so. You found a small tree. Nice work. There really is nothing obvious, is there?
No.
Mickey? Nothing at all. Mickey!
I found it.
You reckon?
I'm 100%. Did your rattle sound like this?
What is that? Is that a drop link?
It's a drop link bar for the back. That's loose. That's the size of the top one.
How strange.
Sound like that, does it?
That would possibly generate a knocking, wouldn't it?
Yep.
That's so strange.
No, look how loose they are.
I know, I can see it. That's how loose it is. That's wild.
Look.
Why is it loose?
I have no idea. Who would even undo them?
That is a very strange thing to be loose because I haven't touched the back end at all. Not one bit.
So that is probably going to be the problem. So Mickey gets that tightened up for me. And we can drop the car back on the floor and hopefully call it a job ticked off the list.
Update for you on the rattle. Fair play, Mickey. It's fixed. Well done, mate. You're a star.
But there is one more rattle on the car, but to get this sorted, I've got to come down to AMG Motorsport at Donington because my ramp still ain't working.
Say your piece.
I like them.
Oh, okay. I was ready to get ripped to shreds for them. What do you reckon?
Nice.
Yeah. They're different, but still cool. I like it. Yeah, it's good. Right, I've come down to AMG Motorsport because I currently have no ramp still, but they are being turned on as we speak, but I needed a ramp urgently to put this on to get to the bottom of one of our last problems. And that is a rattly exhaust, but it's very easy and very quick to find what it is because, well, I think that would be the cause of it. I feel like this one's not quite seated right either, but at least it's solid. But I mean, this one's not even connected, so we must have messed that up when we had the exhaust off to do the tips. So that should be a nice, easy fix.
So luckily it was nothing too crazy, so we can get a new bolt put into that clamp. Get it pushed back together, tighten it up, and we should be ready to hit the road.
Okay, she's as ready as she's ever gonna be. Now, there's another complication. I'm gonna get back home to explain it. So the car's now clean and it is as ready as it's ever gonna be. But there is a problem with this because it's something I've not really thought through that much. And the problem lies in here, because when you go on a road trip, there's certain things you want to take with you. Ideally, a spare wheel. Not gonna happen. So we've got a bit of oil, we've got a pump, we've got a tyre repair kit, the fluorescent thing, warning triangle, a toolkit from the guys at SGS, some loads of sticker number plates, and most importantly, my OBD11 device. Because if we get stranded in this car, it's not a good day. So if we can easily plug in and clear codes to keep us moving, that's always going to be good, because OBD11 can do basic diagnostics for any car, but specifically for BMWs, Minis, any VAG Group car, Rolls-Royce and Toyota and Lexus, it's got full dealership level diagnostics. That's because when it comes to these cars, OBD11 is the most powerful OBD device that you can get. You can quite easily plug it into the car, open up the app, hit connect, and then it's going to detect what sort of car that we're working on, then also scan the car's computers for fault codes. Once we've found those, we can either diagnose them or try and clear them and hope they stay away. On top of that, OBD11 has so many one-touch applications for all of these cars. On this one, for example, we've turned on full screen Apple CarPlay, video in motion, but also all sorts of other helpful stuff like the audible lock-in, so when we lock the car, it does a nice little beep for us, and also turning off the seatbelt warnings as well. Now, on top of that, OBD11 can help you maintain your car, because once you've done a service, you can plug in the device and then do the service resets for things like brake fluid, oil changes, coolant changes, and even more. So whatever size trip you're going on, if it's a 5,000 mile road trip like me, or just nip into the shops, it's definitely handy to keep an OBD11 device with you, and you might save your day or even someone else's. And speaking of savings, you can save some money on your device too. So using code SLIX20, you can save money off any OBD11 package apart from the device on its own. So go and grab one, use the link in the description. Thank you OBD11 for sponsoring this video. Now let's see what else we can fit in the car. But this is just the stuff to keep the car moving, and also potentially get it going again if we do have problems. But we're going to make a video. So, camera gear. 1 camera bag, 2 camera bag. Right. And there's not much more space inside either. It's pretty tight in there. And here's the other thing. We could be gone for 2 or 3 weeks. So I'll do my best to get a video out as quickly as I can and get back as quick as I can to carry on the content. But we need to pack for 2 or 3 weeks worth of travel for 2 people, because Liv's coming. And how we're gonna do that when the space is, well, a huge premium, I guess, is gonna be tough. So we're gonna have to pack light, and hopefully it's all gonna work out. But if you're excited for this and you wanna find out where I'm going early, make sure to go and follow my Instagram, which is chris.slix. It's at the bottom of the screen. I promise you, when you'll find out, you're going to think I'm stupid. Well, more stupid than you already think I am. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And I'll catch you on the road trip.